everybody. How we doing today? Welcome back. After a long weekend. Hope you all enjoyed the long weekend. I think we did. How you feeling, T?
Worn out for a long weekend.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
It was the heat. It's hot. It's been very hot.
Was it
the last
ever?
few days?
Yeah.
I think that just kind of takes it out of me a little bit.
Yeah. My eyes feel as heavy as yours look.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I started feeling like shit yesterday and not much better today. I didn't sleep real well. But, I guess that's just getting old.
Maybe.
I
think there's something about that kind of heat and the air conditioning too, like the in and the out.
Yeah.
I feel like a touch of a cold-ish from
Yeah.
that.
I do too. I'm yawning, but I know I'm not going to sleep for shit. So it's kind of counterproductive. So
That's
stop
exciting.
yawning. Yeah. To know that going into the night
Awesome.
sucks.
All right.
But, I hope you all had a good weekend, better than ours. But yeah, it was hot as balls here.
I mean, it wasn't a bad weekend by any stretch.
No, any weekend.
A couple 90-degree days by the pool. So you can't really argue with that.
Yeah, but you're right about going outside and just getting a wall
Yeah.
of that heat. There's something to that. Anyways, we had college football back,
Hell yeah.
which was nice. The Wolverines played.
They did. They looked good when their starters were in there at least.
Yeah, yeah. That kid, I'm telling you, J.J. McCarthy is the absolute real deal.
He is.
He looks it on every level. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the Heisman talk at the end of the year.
I mean, the incompletions that he set a record for the highest completion percentage in a game for Michigan, which
Really?
says a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
And
more than Brady, more than so many guys.
Like go down the line.
Wow.
More than his own coach, things like that. But,
Yeah.
and even the ones that were incomplete were drops.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he almost could have been 100% on that.
Yeah. And I would have thought that until then we went and watched Shador
Sanders.
Dion's kid, Primetime.
Yeah.
Prime's kid looks legit, too.
He does. Absolutely. I mean, real talent there for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Nothing short of amazing what Dion's done. And I don't care what tricks he's using at his disposal. Hey, man, you set the rules. I play by him.
Sure.
So
Well-
whether that's the portal, whether that's HBCUs, whether that's
but-
Joku's,
There's nothing. I mean, you want to
JUCOs,
talk about.
excuse me.
I mean, what an advantage. I mean, he was at an HCBU or HBCU,
Yeah.
historically black,
Huge
college
Black Cox
Yes.
University. Yeah.
That's historically been a disadvantage for them. I mean, as far as recruiting, no.
Yeah. Tell
I mean,
that to Walter Payton, Jerry Rice,
Okay,
Michael
I'm not saying that
Strahan.
nobody's ever come out of there.
Yeah.
But overall, that's not where the premium talent.
No.
And
not where Dion went.
you could probably go back and look at those players, and they weren't the highest recruits coming out.
Yeah.
But that's where they ended up going.
Yeah.
So it's not like he had some unfair advantage of what he did at Jackson State. He used the NIL stuff. He used his fame and celebrity status to do it. And we were watching that
Coach
Prime little documentary
on Prime.
Is
of
it
all
on Prime?
things. Yeah,
Oh,
which
smart.
totally makes sense.
No, it does,
It's
for
right
sure.
on brand.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you don't, I've always liked Dion. I've never had anything against him at all. I mean, he's.
I hated
arguably-
him for a little bit when he was with the Falcons, when the Falcons were in the NFC West with my Niners, and he was that guy.
He was that guy.
He was that good.
He was always that guy.
Put on an island, shut it down, forget about
And
it.
then what about when he went to Dallas?
I hated him there too, but
Okay.
there was a year in between when he won the Super Bowl with
Yeah,
the Niners.
well, absolutely.
And he was incredible.
Yeah. Well,
You just didn't throw to him. You didn't punt to him.
No.
You just didn't.
Yeah, arguably the greatest player. I mean, arguably the greatest player in history.
one of 'em.
But definitely in the defensive player.
Is he on a Mount Rushmore?
He's got to be right up there.
Right. I
mean-
think a lot of people mistakenly put Bo Jackson in there. His career was too short.
Too short.
I mean, supreme athlete, no doubt, ran the fastest
I don't
40
think Bo
ever.
Jackson's on anybody's Mount Rushmore of players.
Well, I saw an interview with Barry Sanders recently. I think he was on Rich Eisen. They asked him who was the greatest player, Dion or Bo, and he was. I think he picked Bo. And I'm like, yeah, but Bo played like 4 seasons.
He might have been biased
know?
because of the running back position,
Maybe.
in a way.
But Barry's not on my Mount Rushmore.
No, I mean, well,
and
but are you
that's
talking about running backs? You're talking about all sport? I mean, positions, because it's very difficult to compare positions.
yeah.
A cornerback to
But
a
most
linebacker.
people
I mean, a
believe
quarterback
Barry
to a linebacker.
Sanders, running backs were way more respected back then in the 80s, 90s, that kind of thing, 70s, 60s, 50s. Barry Sanders, to me, I look at him as like one of the GOATs for sure on shitty teams, but had as many negative plays as he did positive. You couldn't count on Barry to get you 1 yard because he was not that typical back that always fell forward for a yard. No. Barry tried to make something out of nothing on every single play, and that if that meant losing 3 yards on 3rd and 1, so be it.
But those guys that always fall forward for that extra yard generally don't make 9 guys miss, look stupid, and go for 80 yards.
Agreed.
So it's not the same player.
It would have
either.
been cool to see Barry on a legit team.
Sure.
Like those Lions teams just weren't. I mean, maybe in the 92, 91, they had a legit team.
Yeah, the argument of put him on the Cowboys line instead of Emmett, wouldn't even be close.
Imagine him getting to the second level untouched.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I mean, he made guys just look stupid. And it wasn't that long.
Really
I watched
good guys look stupid.
I watched a kind of a highlight reel not that long ago, within the last few weeks.
Yeah, me
and
too.
even that was like, and I've seen them all. I lived it.
We always get the Patriots run, the Cowboys run, the Bears run.
And I mean, but there's just some where you just
the
like
ankle breaker he did with against John Lynch.
and I've never seen anybody stop and start and be full speed in one step.
Yeah.
Like Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
Period. End
Incredible.
of story. He
Incredible.
didn't have the top end speed. He didn't have the size. Didn't have the hands necessarily. However you want to quantify all that.
Yeah.
Nobody could stop and start and be full speed in one step.
Nah.
Like Barry Sanders.
No, those tree trunks of legs helped.
Unbelievable.
And people around here, we said it before, but understand what his basketball skills were like too. Because that dude never stopped hooping.
No,
Never.
absolutely not.
Even when he was playing, like nowadays it's written into your contract. Like, you can't ride a motorcycle. Yeah, you can't go
I played
play
pickup
local
games with
hoops.
him, dude. Yeah.
I know. And he was
quickest
that
first
guy.
step ever.
Yeah.
I mean, of anybody I've ever seen.
And at 5'8" or whatever he is, 5'9", getting up and dunking it, no problem.
Yeah, he could just stand under the basket and jump up 2 hands and dunk it without even like trying.
Yeah.
He could do it in street clothes, I'm sure.
Yeah. Dress shoes.
Freak athletes.
Yeah. But Dion, there's no doubt, like you can see the changing of the guard, even in practice, like on that Coach Prime documentary. The kids are all wearing shirts, and usually it's got nothing on the back of their jersey but their numbers or their name, so it'll say Sanders on the back.
Yeah.
They all have their handles, like their social media handles. And so it's like at Coach Prime.
Whatever their whole handle is.
You know what I mean? And other programs are going to do this. Like, you want to follow these kids? Go ahead.
Yep.
Here's where you're going to find their handle and stuff. Like,
you're gonna
little
have to.
things like that. There you go. The kids are going to love that.
For sure.
To me, I think it's fucking me mentality. But hey, I'm an old man.
Yeah.
So
Yes and no. I mean, just because you are an individual on that team, but from everything I've seen, that it doesn't translate to me, with them. Now, it's early. It's still in its infancy.
Yeah.
You've got what's the kid? Travis Hunter. Just a stud. Playing both ways.
Yeah.
He
played both ways this weekend.
Yeah, play 120 snaps or something like that. Something insane.
100 yards receiving.
And from what I
pick.
What I saw,
multiple pass defense.
that he graded out. Now I verified this, but that he graded out as the number 2 receiver and the number 2 cornerback in college football this weekend.
Wow. Yeah.
So think about that. I mean,
that's
now
prime-time-esque.
how sustainable that is long term. We'll see.
Dion did it damn
Dion did.
well.
Now-
He did it really well.
Yeah.
He didn't get the offensive opportunities.
No, kick
But
returns
his
and punt
special
returns.
teams, he's just special.
Yeah.
Just special. For young people listening that don't remember him, I get it. I
Yeah,
do,
he
but-
just kind of gets lumped in like, yep, he was just one of those guys. And back to my point a little bit was, if you don't really know Dion or much about it, you just prime time, and you see some of the clips and the flashy stuff, I can see you not thinking that highly of him, or what, there's a lot of guys from that era that I didn't care for, the Michael Irvins and shit of the world.
It killed my grandpa. When they started dancing and shit, and that was like, it horrified my grandpa when Deion Sanders came to the Niners because it became infectious. And guys like Jerry Rice started doing little dances in the end zone. That
Changed
never happened.
everything.
Oh my God. And, it's well known they didn't really get along that well, but it still had an infectious. And my grandpa hated that shit.
I'm
It's
sure.
probably his racist.
Get off
nature.
my lawn.
Yeah, there's some of that, plus a little racism thrown in.
Yeah.
And you get
Look at these
what you
coloreds dancing on my screen, fucking up my football.
fucking up my football. God damn it! Where are the good white DBs we used to have in this?
Where's
league?
Dwight Clark? Where's about Joe Montana? They don't dance.
Jesus Christ! Before long, you're going to have one of them blacks playing quarterback in this league. So yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't say it out loud, but I'm sure my grandpa had some of that. Like
Probably a bit.
these people are quite showy in the way they behave.
Flamboyant, we'll say.
Yeah, and Deion was like that, but I'll let you finish where you were going with that.
Oh yeah,
I think it's important.
It is, and I mean, he's the highest caliber of person, of man, of coach, of everything. He really is, and and if you like. I kind of knew that, but I didn't know a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff. I know more than most, but even that was still like to be able to see it on the day-to-day and to see how he treats his players, how he treats people, how he treats everything.
His son.
Yeah, I mean it's worth a while. I mean it's a great show. It's it's all football, so I mean I get it, but there's a lot more to that show than just football. There's
love
a lot
when
of life lessons and shit in there.
I love when these coaches have like their son on their roster. And it's like, no one. I treat everybody the same. Everybody on my roster is treated the same. And I don't care if you're my kid. You play or you ball out or you don't play. You can ride the pine. That kind of attitude. And then his kid gets hurt.
Yeah.
Gets concussed in a game. And Deion's are, look at me. Look at me. Just look at me. Can you see me? Are you okay? Like, he immediately, and it'd be impossible. I think they're all full of shit when they say that.
Of course,
anyways.
to some degree. I mean, in the
your
X's and
kid.
O's of the game, I mean, I'm not, as a coach, I'm going to put the best player out there.
Yeah.
His just happens to be his son because dude's legit.
Yeah. Should do
But
more.
if, that's a different story. Now you're out there just, caring about your son being okay.
Yeah.
But, if it comes down to
it's
it,
gotta
you're not
be
going to put your son
impossible.
ahead of somebody that's a better option. You'd lose all credibility with your team and your locker room. And your
Yeah,
school.
because the players would know it.
Right.
They'd know it.
Absolutely. So, you can't put yourself in that situation. Like I said,
And he put away any doubt of that this weekend, throwing for 510 yards and 4 touchdowns, whatever he did.
Yep. Beating a ranked TCU team.
Yeah. Who lost their quarterback, in fairness.
Yeah. I mean, and they also were in the national championship game last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like this is just some program.
I think there's a misconception, and I'm as guilty as anyone with Deion. And I think this is kind of where you were going when you started this. And I've told the story before about interviewing Deion, and it was probably the most humbling interview I've ever done personally.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't prepared,
Sure.
Where I just assumed, the White House Cowboys days with Nate Newton and Larry Allen and Michael Irvin and all those guys that were fucking around.
Yeah.
They were world champions. They were partying like crazy. They had a house they called the White House because of all the blow in it. They were...
Funny how that comes around full circle.
Right?
White House with blowing it.
Yeah, sure. I just can't figure out who that is.
Weird.
Yeah, crazy. Anyways, I just assumed because of his brass nature, that dude talked more shit in college coming out to the pros. He never stopped talking shit. He never has stopped talking shit. He doesn't care what you think. He's betting on himself. He's betting on the kids that he's got around him. And that doesn't change with Deion. It doesn't matter where he goes. It doesn't matter where he plays, whether it's the Falcons, the Niners, the Cowboys, or the Ravens. It doesn't matter where he coaches, if it's at HBCU or if it's at Colorado, how long he'll be there, who knows? Because NFL teams will start giving that dude a look. For real. They will. Count on it. But if, I went into an interview with Deion, Mike Clark and I interviewed him, and I just assumed he was that dude, that he was living on talent and could party with the best of them.
Yep.
And I don't know why. I'd read the book, about the Cowboys that Jeff whatever had written, which was a great book. And all but accused Dion, like, how did you put it all together with all those party days? Blah, blah. And he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I've never had a cigarette in my life. I've never drank an alcoholic beverage in my life. I've never had a drug in my life. And it was like, oh, shit. I should have known that before going into that interview. I was young, and it wasn't right. But he had no problem calling that out. Like, motherfucker, get it right.
That's his name and his brand. He's going to make sure that he sets the record straight.
Yes. Like, make no mistake about it. No matter how much shit that dude talked, that dude backed it up, and that dude put in the time and effort.
He put in
the work, the study. And you listen to, experts on this talking heads that were talking this weekend after that game, and they're going, there's something special here in that these teams play smart. His kids don't commit stupid penalties. His teams don't miss reads. That's all Dion. That's Dion's attention to detail. Yep. Dion's one of the smartest guys in the room. His football IQ is off the charts.
Absolutely.
And that's transferring to what you're seeing on the field. When you get a game one, you got 6 fucking penalties for 35 yards. That's it. Not much.
No.
He ain't giving shit away. And, it's cool to see. It's cool to see the experts that think they know everything, and there's no other way it can be done.
Yeah.
They're the people that 2 years ago said Dan Campbell's an oaf.
Right. Yep, exactly.
He's nothing but kneecap biting and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. When it comes down to the X's and O's. And, I mean, I didn't know for sure. But
Ben Johnson was a nobody.
Yeah.
Right? He's learned under Campbell in a lot of respects.
There's
Campbell was calling the offense half the year.
That's true. Absolutely.
I mean, before he handed that over to Ben.
There's something to, the fact that he was, quote unquote, assistant head coach under Peyton in New Orleans, says a lot. That's that's not a title that they just throw around. He wasn't, a tight ends coach. He wasn't, he was legit, and he put a great staff around him. But the level of in-depth knowledge that the guys that have played in the league, and not just guys that played in the league, because not everybody that plays in the league is created equal.
Yeah.
Right? The Deons of the world, because there's the Deons and the Mike Vicks of the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
On talent alone,
100%.
that you could look at him on paper.
Mike Vick might be the greatest athlete of all time. What he accomplished by never opening a playbook is nothing short of stunning.
Exactly right.
It's stunning.
Yeah. It's the Kobe type comparison. You already have the talent.
Yeah.
To be at that level.
What are you going to do with it?
But you still continue to drive and push yourself to learn and achieve more and continue to better yourself all the way along.
Yeah. Find a way to get a chip on your shoulder that you can believe in.
That's how you separate yourself.
And I'll say something else. More so than college, when you're talking about the pros, these kids, and for all intents and purposes, they're kids.
They're kids, absolutely.
25 to 35 years old. I mean, they're kids.
Oh, I was talking about college. I'm sorry, but
pros.
Yeah.
Even the pros.
Even the pros are still kids.
They're young. Their brains are finally fully developing, but they're not. They're young people. They sense bullshit. They're not stupid. Those guys all know the playbook. Not easy to do. And those guys know when they're being sold a bill of goods. For whatever reason, they're sold on Dan Campbell.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
They don't play that way for just anybody.
No, they bought in. And that's
it's going to be fun.
That's
to watch,
what we
man.
haven't seen in a while.
Yeah,
even with, obviously Patricia was a clown, and nobody liked it. He lost the locker room the day he got here, so he never had a chance. He could have been one of the greatest X's and O's coaches ever. If you can't guys play for him, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, he was insulting to guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost Darius Slay over it.
Yeah.
Ironically,
and more than that. You lost
now.
that whole locker room. You guys were still on the roster. You didn't.
Isn't Patricia with the Eagles now? And he looks way thinner.
Oh, does he?
I think so.
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I know he went back to the Pats.
Yeah.
They
going home
out.
is always a.
But then he was the offensive coordinator in New England. Ironically enough.
Yeah. I'm almost positive he's with. Well, maybe he's not. Maybe I could be wrong about that. I shouldn't act like I know.
All right.
I did watch. I was watching TikTok earlier, and I saw an interesting breakdown of Malcolm Butler's pick in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks. Remember the famous 1 yard line?
Yep.
Like just hand it to.
Yeah. Just give it to Marshawn.
Marshawn Lynch, and they didn't. And dude, the history behind that play. and what those guys recognized on the sideline for New England. And the Matt Patricias of the world and the offensive coordinators wanting him to take a timeout, Bill Belichick, in that moment. And he's going, no, the clock's running down, and they look confused. I ain't bailing them out.
Yeah.
I'm not calling the timeout here. And they're like, Coach, we got to call timeout. He's like, heard ya. Got it.
Yeah.
And he's like, we had 3 goal line defenses that we could call. Goal line 1, 2, and 3.
All right.
One was if they had a goal line offense and they had 1 receiver out there, we put 1 corner out, and it goes down the line, 2 corners to 2 receivers, and so forth. We'd never seen or had to use goal line defense 3 the entire year, not once.
Yeah.
But we didn't practice. And then they go to the fucking practice tape, and they show Malcolm Butler and his shit getting eaten time and time again on the pick play, but I'm supposed to have the guy going deeper.
Yeah.
1-yard play touchdown. Tom Brady eats his shit all day.
Yep.
And they're like coaching him up, going, dude, you got to get around this block, and that's the guy you're covering. This guy's going to try to set a pick on you to free up the inside receiver to make that 1-yard catch all day, easy as shit. You can't let that. It's the first time we saw it all year. And then they showed the fucking play in the Super Bowl.
And it pays off.
And you see the coach running down the sideline, goal line 3, goal line 3. Like he recognized, holy shit, here we go.
Here we go. You're up. You're up, Malcolm.
It just shows you just how detail-oriented all these guys are. Little shit that we wouldn't recognize.
That's exactly right.
It's really wild. It's wild to see. Anyway, I know, as you can tell, we're excited.
Oh, yeah.
Football season's upon us. The Lions are in 2 days.
I mean, if you just to follow up on that Dion thing, because if people don't know, because a lot of people probably don't, of what happened this year with Colorado, that he essentially he's been in Jackson State, coaching there. That's where his kid started and all that. He took the head coaching job this year for the University of Colorado, who was
1-11 last year.
They were 1-11, one of the worst teams,
and have been for years.
Yes, they were terrible.
Since the Cordell Stewart days,
they offered him. In fact, they offered him a very, very sizable contract that they did not have the money to pay. They said, we're gonna offer you this much for this year, for however years, whatever the numbers were. I don't know. I mean, I can look it up, but I don't know off the top of my head. And they're like, but our program's been shit for the last 5 years. We don't have the money, to pay you right now. Like, and you come in, do that. We'll figure it out. We'll get it. We're good for it. But trust us. We're trusting you. Let's build this together. And he was like, cool. And they did. The boosters and shit that came in, they raised the money in like a week. Yeah. Whatever. They were like, oh, you got Dion?
As if they don't have the
whatever.
I mean, give me a break. But.
Yeah. But he took the job at Colorado, which fine is one thing, except he took basically his entire Jackson State program, his roster with him. There was like single digits of team.
Is that kind of a dick move? To do that to a historically black college or university?
I mean, you could listen.
Kind of fuck them over.
You could say it on some level. Yes, you can argue to what he did to Jackson State. You can argue to what he did to all the kids that were on scholarship at Colorado. But if you're coming into a program and you're turning it around, you can either fucking cook with the groceries that we gave you, the old wilty shit that's in the cupboard, or you can bring your own groceries with you.
88 players.
88. I mean, yeah.
There's only 110 on a roster.
Yeah, and there was only a handful of scholarship players that he kept.
Yeah,
bounced everybody. Just walked in and said, "You're all on notice. I'm bringing my own shit.
Yeah,
some of you are going to stay. Most of you are not. This coaching staff completely fucking blown out. Everybody, I'm coming in starting, and that shocked the world. Like that had never been done.
A lot of people hated
and that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And they were like, "Okay, no way are you going to take this?" Because it's just a lower tier, theoretically.
Yeah, when you're talking Grambling and Jackson State,
and FAMU, and these smaller schools that these guys are playing,
Mississippi Valley.
Yeah, it's not these Power 5 conferences. Like, it's just night and day. Okay, well, that's not even going to translate. That's bullshit that he's taking all these kids. Half the people just thought he was going to come up and embarrass themselves. Like, okay, they're just.
And now they're saying that about the NFL.
Yeah.
They're already jumping the bandwagon like, well, fine, maybe he can make work in college, but try that shit in the NFL. It's like, okay.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Because he's failed at every level he's been at.
Exactly.
Every time you've doubted him.
But so for him to come out and you know, an example like Michigan, you know, playing these cupcake games, a lot of these big schools play garbage non-conference schedules, little tune-up games before they get into their conference schedule all the time.
Yep.
Very rarely do you get real tests.
And we all look forward to it.
Ironically, well,
give me LSU and Florida State all year.
TCU having Colorado. That was their tune-up game.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and so
1-11 program.
Everybody expected them to just go out there and get housed.
Yeah,
heavy underdogs as they were referred to. I don't remember what the line exactly was, but and then went in there and kicked the shit out of them.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it was a great game.
Ball.
It was a great game. I mean,
45,
they didn't just
42.
kick the shit out of them, but they answered everyone and they came back and won. It was one of the best. I mean, it may end up being the game of the year.
Yeah.
It may be.
Yeah. I'm sure something will come along, but there's definitely going to be talk. If you remember back that far, I mean, I don't know how many people will, but
right. But that's how
it was impressive to watch. It was fun to watch. Yeah. Yeah. Deion, the only thing I'd be worried about, Deion has always struck me as a guy that's going to look out for Deion. That's kind of the way he is, right? And when he left the Falcons and came to the Niners, he was there for a year. Now, Deion would say, I wanted to come back, but they never offered me a contract, which I find impossible to believe on some level. And then he went to the Cowboys, and then he went to Baltimore. And he went to Jackson State. He had no qualms in dismantling that program, right?
Yep.
Historically black university, you know, that takes a lot of pride in these types of things, feels that they're disadvantaged on just about every level. And to go and gut that, it'll be a decade before that program rebuilds.
Well, I mean, I don't know what they were doing before he got there, but
probably not much. There wasn't a lot of talk of Jackson State.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't hear. I mean, you don't.
So
hear,
how long is he going to be at Colorado?
You don't hear about who knows.
Yeah.
I don't think. My guess is that I don't know that he has aspirations of being a professional coach. I feel like he really wants to be in the college ranks because of the mentoring that he can do for the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, because that seems to be
turning boys
really,
into men.
Really
that's
important,
like a big part of his thing. And I respect
character
that.
issues. No, I mean not character issues, but I mean focusing on character and not just football.
Your responsibilities as a man. He's not playing the woke game.
Exactly. You know, practice what you preach. And so I don't know that he has aspirations to go to the NFL. I don't think it's it's as much about coaching as it is mentoring for him. Yeah. And I don't think you can do that.
Well, that'd be kind of cool
on the NFL
if
level.
that was the case.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of cool.
All right.
Is
anybody even listening anymore?
No. They bailed on us a while ago.
That's all right. I love football. Oh, baby.
So do I. I know. Sorry, it's the start of the season. I can't wait for Thursday night. Honestly, I can't. We have COVID again near the White House. Dr. Jill Biden.
Yeah.
Come down with a vid. What the hell? She's been vaxxed multiple times. She's been boosted multiple times. What's going on here?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
She's got to be very, very, very sick, I assume.
Oh, I'm sure. Sure, it's deathly ill. I have no idea.
Oh, I heard that she was experiencing very mild symptoms.
Oh, okay.
That's how I heard it.
Well, I just grabbed this story before we came down, but apparently President Biden will mask up in certain situations.
Okay, perfect.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And socially distance himself.
All right, cool.
Because that's already been proven to be total bullshit. That was made out of whole cloth, 6 feet distancing. So I don't know what metric he's going with.
Yeah.
But 6 feet, 10 feet, I don't know. What you going to stay out of bed with your wife? Is that what's going to happen here, Joe? Is that what we're doing? So on Monday, the First Lady's communications director, Elizabeth Alexander, said this evening the First Lady tested positive for COVID-19. In other words, the First Lady's got the sniffles.
Rocking the vid.
She is experiencing mild symptoms. The president tested negative Monday and Tuesday and will undergo a series of precautionary measures. He's not experiencing any symptoms. Well, I would hope not, Karine Jean-Pierre. If he doesn't have COVID, why wouldn't he be not experiencing symptoms?
It's wild, isn't it?
Crazy. Yeah.
I think those two would go hand in hand.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't have COVID and he's not experiencing symptoms?
Well,
wow.
I'm sending thoughts and prayers to
Dr. Jill.
Good Dr. Jill.
The good doctor of education.
The first doctor.
Yeah. She should be Surgeon General. Yeah, she should, Whoopi. Good one. By the way, I don't know if you saw, but Joy Behar, that twat blamed the flood at Burning Man on Donald Trump and Republicans.
Okay.
Yeah.
But somehow with climate change?
Yeah,
Of course.
They're responsible for climate change. Of course, across the board. So it's Trump's fault. I was like, wow, you found a way to blame Trump for that?
That's special.
That's special.
That's
special needs special.
It's a talent. I mean, on some level.
Like, are you just inventing shit in the green room? Like, you're not going to believe what I'm going to try and pull off today. All right? Mm-hmm. They're like, we got to talk about Burning Man. What do we say? I mean...
Hold my beer. Yeah. I got this.
Whoopi's like,
hold my
well,
martini.
we could go with the standard and just blame climate change. Anytime there's a rainstorm, obviously we blame climate change. And Joy Behar pulled the hold my beer.
Right. Don't worry, ladies. I got this.
I got this, cunts.
You just set it up on the tee, and I'll knock it out of the park.
This is Donald Trump's fault. And Republicans. They don't care about climate change. Okay.
She's one of the women that I actually, like, fantasize about punching right in the fucking face.
Kind of.
I mean,
you talk about,
it's just,
her and it goes back and forth between the absolute absurd garbage that comes out of her mouth, Joy Behar's, and Joy Reid's.
Oh yeah,
it's like if I could only punch one, I don't want to just automatically go, oh, I'd punch the white lady because then I look racist punching the black lady, because Joy Reid is she's
very right up there too, very, indeed,
I mean.
Yeah,
we don't comment as much on.
You hit one, I'll hit the other.
Okay. If you could only hit one woman in your life, and everyone goes, I don't know what to say. She had it coming. I'm with T on this one. And 100% Twitter, everything was just like, I got to go with T-Roy on this one.
Right?
You know?
Unanimous support.
Yeah, unanimous support, which is unheard of. There's always some clown. The only person that can disagree with you is Joy Behar or Joy Reid. Yeah, that's it. Everybody else, it's consensus.
Even Whoopi be like, yeah, fuck it.
I get it. Yeah. Which one would you pick? Who would you pick? Is there a woman you'd be like, yeah, that's the one? It might be Joy Behar.
I'm telling you, it's just, like I said, it's
strong case.
It's not like I have any illusions of wanting to hit a woman, but there's just something about that with, like, right in the mouth.
And the only criticism you could possibly take, okay, there could potentially be some backlash.
A little pushback, I'm sure.
A little bit. No. This is the only. And it's an absolute. So you're getting 100% support on Twitter and everything else.
99.99999.
The only is if you fucking rock her in the jaw and she fucking stands up and she
takes it.
She takes it. And she's like,
spits out a tooth.
All right. Is that all you got?
Wipes a little blood off her thing.
A little blood off the cheek. At which point you could watch your soul drain out of your body, like, I couldn't even knock out an 80-year-old bitch.
She goes, now it's my turn.
She's just rolling up her sleeves the whole time. Oh, really? Is that the best you got, son?
Joy. Joy.
One of the stories that came out, and, T, I don't know about you, but I am getting really, really tired of being so right so often.
We've
touched on this a little bit.
We did a little bit. It's disheartening.
It's disturbing.
Is what it is.
Because we're morons, essentially.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, but you're a PhD in common knowledge.
Yeah.
But as far as book knowledge goes, we're not winning any prizes.
No.
We're not winning any awards. They're not putting anything around our necks at graduation time.
No, but we're also not trying to cure cancer.
No,
we're just seeing through bullshit.
Yeah.
Which is my specialty.
Yeah, mine too. So, I'm learning that we're both pretty good at bullshit sensing, smelling bullshit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's... Like I said, it is
more frustrating and disheartening than anything. Because how many times?
How I'm feeling. I mean, I was.
Do you have to be right in a fucking nation-splitting argument? How many times in a row do you have to be 100% right before people go, God damn, maybe we should start listening to these two? I know they don't have the degrees; they're not laureates,
right?
I understand.
This is a house of learned doctors.
Yeah, these are not the valedictorians we're taking our cues from here. However, you cannot deny their record.
The track record speaks for himself. That's all I can say.
Point out where we've been wrong. That's what I would say. Point out where. Just start sending us messages, and we'll go, son of a bitch. You got me there.
Yeah.
You got me.
Walters with an O at DetroitCast.com.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there's a list coming our way of all the shit we've gotten wrong.
And that's fine. There are some things. Look, do we fucking count? Do we point our bats to the stands and swing for the fences sometimes?
So of course,
Sure.
yeah,
Sure.
Hey, Hall of Fame, bat over 300 in the league, you'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, which means 7 out of 10 times you could strike the fuck out.
Exactly.
3 out of 10, you're in the Hall.
Yeah.
Proudly.
I think we're batting over 300.
Yeah, we are. In a landmark ruling, September 1st, a federal court stated that the FDA shockingly abused their authority under federal law when it advised Americans to stop using ivermectin. Crazy as a treatment for COVID-19. A group of doctors had filed a federal lawsuit against the Department of Health and Human Services and the Food and Drug Administration, so that's the HHS and the FDA, over the agency's unlawful attempts to block the use of ivermectin in treating COVID-19. Lawsuit argues that the FDA has overstepped its authority and unjustifiably interfered with their medical practice. That, folks, is 100% true. You want to get into the weeds about how they did it and what they did? No. Real world experience. I went to doctors. I personally asked them about ivermectin, and they were like, I'm not losing my license. So whether that was real or not, the threat alone was real enough.
Yeah.
The threat alone made my doctors, and I mean multiple, tell me no. With all the comorbidities that I have, which is all of them, go down the list. I think there's one about pregnancy, and I don't have that one.
Not yet.
Anyways, not yet. It's early.
Yeah.
So the plaintiffs, Doctors Mary Bowden, Paul Merrick, and Robert Apter, are contesting their portrayal, the FDA's portrayal of ivermectin as dangerous for human consumption. They note the FDA approved ivermectin for human use since '96 for a variety of diseases. However, they allege that with the advent of the COVID pandemic, the FDA, began releasing documents and social media posts discouraging the use of this drug for COVID-19 treatment. The agency's lawyers argued the FDA was only giving advice. It wasn't mandatory when we told people to stop taking ivermectin. It's just a mild suggestion. Was it? Because it didn't feel that way.
Sure.
Certainly didn't feel that way to the doctors I talked to.
Well, and then you throw the FDA, the CDC in there, and
the NIH, the NIH.
Right, so everybody starts piling on with their recommendations.
And the media landscape across the board. The fact that you were banned on social media if you even asked questions about it.
Yeah,
remember, we wouldn't even say the I word.
Why were we getting
for months?
Why was everything get flagged anytime it came up?
Yeah, crazy. Was it partly based on those recommendations only? Just a mild suggestion?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know. The cited statements were not directives. They were not mandatory. They were recommendations. They said what parties should do. They said, for example, why you should not take ivermectin to treat COVID-19. They did not say you may not do it. You must not do it. They did not say it's prohibited or it's unlawful. They also did not say that doctors may not prescribe ivermectin. Tell that to my doctors, unless you're calling my doctors morons.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor of the medical field.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, no. Yeah, I'm a doctor in common sense, but so I did not personally get the directive. But again, I took the temperature of the room back then.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there was some pretty heavy influence coming down the other way.
Little bit.
There was some heavy-handed fucking recommendations.
And if you got through that wall of that was meant to stop you before you got in to even ask the questions, if you were brave enough to plow through that noise and still confront your doctor about it, they still told you to eat dicks.
Yeah. I remember what they did to Rogan when he got COVID, came back in a few days.
2 days.
So it said, they had taken ivermectin. So I mean,
it was one of the things.
You can get
fairness, he took a lot.
He took a lot of other things.
Monoclonal antibodies,
Absolutely.
hydroxychloroquine, vitamin C and D and zinc.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what did they do? They fucking made him look green on CNN to make him look like he was on his
that
deathbed.
didn't happen.
Oh,
but
I remember seeing it when it did.
I remember watching
100%.
it as well. You can find those clips if you'd like.
Still out there. They're not altered.
No. They don't even care to try to get that scrub from the internet.
That just somehow happened to be the only picture that's ever been off color.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Timing,
Joe Rogan,
ironic.
the Hulk. The statement from the lawyer contradicted the FDA's social media post, which stated, "Hold your horses, y'all. Ivermectin may be trending, but it still isn't authorized or approved to treat COVID-19." And another said, which I think got more coverage, "You are not a horse. You are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it." With the title, "Why You Should Not Use Ivermectin to Treat or Prevent COVID." Last month, the lawyer representing the FDA clarified the agency's stance. The lawyer confirmed that doctors have the authority to prescribe the drug for off-label use in treating COVID-19. Huh.
Weird.
I thought it was just for river blindness.
Yeah.
What do I know? During the oral argument, I love oral arguments.
Yeah.
Ashley Honold, Department of Justice lawyer representing the FDA stated
What happened to the Chung?
You can use Chung. I'm not much of a middle name guy unless she's a murderer.
Look, I don't think Chung's a middle name.
Ashley Chung Honold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hyphen?
No hyphen. Said the FDA stated that the agency explicitly recognizes that doctors do have the authority to administer ivermectin to treat COVID. FDA made these statements in response to multiple reports of consumers being hospitalized after self-medicating with ivermectin intended for horses, which you can buy over the counter at a vet or something like that. I don't know how many fucking people did that.
Tractor Supply, you could buy it.
Yeah.
Was it Tractor Supply? One of those. Yeah, I think it was Tractor Supply.
Yeah, it was in a medication that I got, too. One of Cece's meds. One of Cece's meds was
deworming.
ivermectin.
Right. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But it's not the only application of it.
No. They give dogs and cats many human medications. And I don't believe there was a run on vets for ivermectin.
No.
I don't think that was real. You know, it's like the picture they showed us in, I don't remember, in wherever it was, with all the people in winter coats lined up out the building, just trying to get in the hospital
like
with all their
Nebraska
gunshot
or something
wounds.
out
Yeah,
there.
it turns out it was in August. Yeah. It was like, okay, are you even trying
stock
anymore?
footage you pulled from something else.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's just how many just blatant lies
Yeah.
have to be uncovered before you're like, okay, why are you lying?
Yeah.
The truth shall set you free. If it's true, it's easy to prove. You don't have to lie.
Yeah.
Why all the bullshit?
Because you've gotten so much support, overwhelming support from your mainstream media. And that includes television, radio, magazine articles, website articles. You're getting massive confirmation from all of them.
Yeah.
So it makes it really hard to not know what's real and what's not. But the flip to that is the rest of us who saw through a lot of this shit, it makes it really hard for us to trust you on anything.
For anything.
So, you know, when you go, how can you not see what Trump's done? I go, well, I'd like to.
Yeah.
But the same outlets that are telling me about what he's done and how wrong it is and how it's ending democracy are the same ones that use that same threat.
The network that
for
cried wolf.
Years. Yeah, you're the network that cried wolf. Sorry. I always had trust in the mainstream media to some level. I mean, not over the last 20 years, but before that, I generally...
It's waning for sure.
It's gone now. Yeah. Gone. There's no trust.
Even the Burning Man thing. There was stories coming out about people getting
Trump
sick,
caused.
and that there was this outbreak and people were getting really sick, and then there was reports that started coming out that it was Ebola. It was an Ebola breakout in Burning Man. Well, then came out, the Ebola thing has been completely debunked. Like, okay, well now that makes me think it's fucking Ebola.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why do I think, because you came out and told me that it's not Ebola.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to go, oh,
cool.
Well, that answers that.
That's not Ebola.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it is or I don't know it's not. But.
And knowing their rationalization, which in the end, if it was Ebola, you and I would never in a million years have questioned that.
No.
We wouldn't have.
Nope.
You've made us question that.
Right.
And now, if it came out 2 years from now and they say, well, it was Ebola, but we were afraid of public panic.
Yeah, we didn't want to.
Yeah, we didn't want to panic the public, knowing that it was here in Nevada in the United States. That's why we said those lies. Too late, fucker.
Yep.
Too late.
Nobody can be trusted anymore.
No.
Nope.
No.
Because it's not impartial on any level. Everybody is pushing their agenda.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whichever side it is, everybody's pushing their agenda. So I don't fully trust anything that comes out of anybody's mouth.
Nope. September 1st, U.S. Circuit Judge Don Willett stated, the FDA can inform, but it has identified no authority allowing it to recommend consumers stop taking medication. According to the courts, the three physicians can now pursue legal action, arguing the FDA's campaign went beyond the scope of their jurisdiction as defined by federal legislation. FDA is not a physician. It has authority to inform, announce, and apprise, but not endorse, denounce, or advise. Judge Willett wrote, the doctors have plausibly alleged the FDA's posts fell on the wrong side of the line between telling about and telling to. As such, the doctors can use the APA to assert their ultra-vires claims against the agencies and the officials. Left unmentioned in most of that messaging, ivermectin also comes in a human version. And while the human version of ivermectin is not FDA approved for coronavirus, some people were using it off-label for that purpose. Even tweet-sized doses of personalized medical advice are beyond the FDA's statutory authority. Dr. Mary Bowden said the FDA misled the public into thinking it has more authority than it does. It sure as shit did. It sure as shit did. Now, you can blame us for choosing not to believe the FDA, but the FDA did 100% act like they had more authority than they did. Period. End of story. That's what they did. And they scared the shit out of a lot of doctors. In fact, they got some doctors fired.
Yeah.
Period. Doctors lost their practices for ignoring the FDA, the NIH, the NIAH, whatever.
What percentage of the FDA is funded by Big Pharma?
All of it.
75%.
Really? Crazy.
Yeah, weird. No conflict of interest there whatsoever.
And if you don't believe me, so the FDA misled the public into thinking it has more authority than it does. This decision confirms that the FDA is not your doctor and has no authority to tell doctors how to practice medicine. Houston Methodist, where she worked, launched an investigation into Dr. Bowden. I wonder where that went. I wonder where that non-witch hunt fair trial went. They suspended her for defying health authorities and exercising free speech. The hospital excoriated Bowden for using her social media accounts to express her personal opinions about the COVID vaccine and treatments. Suspension barred the physician from admitting or treating patients at the hospital. She repeatedly warned that this is wrong to mandate mRNA vaccines, experimental ones, and continuously touted ivermectin as a safe and effective treatment amid threats from public health officials against prescribing the drug. She was forced to resign. In her resignation letter, Bowden said, I have worked hard to provide early treatment for victims of COVID. My efforts have been successful. I have treated more than 200 patients, including many with comorbidities, and none of these patients have required even hospitalization. This is a testament to the success of my methods. Throughout this pandemic, there has been no FDA-approved treatment for COVID. Therefore, I have done my best to care for patients and save lives in the absence of a clear scientific consensus. Early treatment must still be part of any strategy for patient care. That is why physicians and hospitals should pay more attention to medications such as ivermectin, which significant research and my clinical experience indicate is effective. I have decided to part ways with Houston Methodist because of the accusation that I have been spreading dangerous information. This is false and defamatory. I don't spread misinformation, and my opinions are supported by science. There have now been, in case you're wondering, 99 ivermectin COVID-19 control studies that show a 62% improvement in COVID patients.
Yeah.
Can you say that about the vaccine? You can't.
No. That's
you could say it all you want. It wouldn't be true.
the efficacy
The efficacy, yeah.
is just still dropping, I think.
Yeah.
Can it be below zero?
No, you could just keep cutting in half, cutting in half, cutting in half for infinity.
Right.
You could do that for eternity, technically. You know? So, no, I don't think they've hit bottom yet. But don't worry. There's a new one just over the hill.
Don't worry. Yep.
Mid-September. It's coming.
They got your back on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait to go back to the doctors and have them be, oh, we got a mask mandate again. That nonsense. Mm-hmm. Let that clown Biden wear a mask anywhere he wants.
Like I said, I just
knock
had
yourself out, bro.
Right. I let him know. I voiced my displeasure.
With who?
My doctor.
Yeah.
I went in there. And it wasn't, he could give a shit. It was all the twats in there making me do it.
Yeah. Was that recent?
Yeah. When I got my stitches out.
They made you mask up?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for paying attention.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
I just forget fast. That's all.
You know
it's
what?
like a dream. You know, dreams fade really quick. That's how my memory is with everything nowadays.
That's fair.
Not bad.
Hey,
sorry.
Insurance. We all need it. Most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who even provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasick from Wasick Insurance Services change that. Brent has over 30 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverage. Auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. So call Brent Wasick at 734-455-1900 and get a free no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900 and ask for Brent Wasick at Wasick Insurance.
So there's a new biography coming out on Elon Musk from author Walter Isaacson. The Wall Street Journal featured an excerpt this past week.
Okay.
And I don't know. How much is it the parents' responsibility versus the school's responsibility to know what the fuck's going on with your kid and what they're learning?
Well, it used to be, a marriage of sorts. That was a team, the school and the parents, They made sure that the parents were abreast of issues and there was communication back and forth.
Yeah.
That seems to be gone. On some level.
It does, for certain topics, for sure.
I mean, it's hard to say because times have changed too. Like it used to be phone calls and in-person meetings and stuff, and now there's texts and emails and websites and shit that you have to go to.
Yeah.
So maybe some of the information's there, and parents don't like. There was shit that my kid, I never fucking looked at it. I have no idea what the site was. I think I technically had access to it and was probably supposed to go on there and look at it. But I never did. You know, I mean, I wasn't worried about it either. They were doing, they were doing what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And their mom took care of that stuff anyway. But
that's the mom's role.
Right, exactly. I was paying the bill, bringing home the bacon.
Yeah.
Bitch, you cook it up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But so times have changed a little bit too. That you don't really have that personal interaction as much as you used to.
Right.
So,
well, he claims the excerpt was what was behind Musk's drive to purchase Twitter, now X. Musk's swelling concern with the dangers of what he called the woke mind virus. I agree with him there, 100%. That he believed was infecting America was a crucial factor behind Musk's desire to acquire the company.
Was this authorized or unauthorized?
I don't know.
Okay.
The comments are contained in Elon Musk, which is the name of the book from Walter Isaacson. I'm not sure. Unless the woke mind virus, which is fundamentally anti-science, anti-merit, anti-human in general, is stopped, civilization will never become multiplanetary. He then wrote about Musk's child, who has become transgender.
XR4TI?
Right? No, I think he's got semi-normal name. Musk's anti-woke sentiments were partly triggered by the decision of his oldest child, Xavier.
All right.
So X again. Then 16 to transition. Hey, I'm transgender. My new name is now Jenna. She texted the wife of Elon's brother. Don't tell my dad. When Musk found out, he was genuinely sanguine. What does sanguine mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Sanguine?
Yeah. S-A-N, we should know that.
Right.
S-A-N-G U-I-N-E. So when he found out, he was generally sanguine.
Optimistic or positive, especially in apparently bad or difficult situations. Oh, okay.
So okay. I've been sanguine a lot.
Have you?
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't even know.
Okay.
Oh, I find myself sanguine a lot.
Fantastic. That's a good place to be.
Actually, I'm not. I'm
Lovely
not
this
very
time.
optimistic.
I was surprised that you said that.
Yeah.
You're
pretty sanguine. You've been faced with some shit.
You do what you got to do.
But then Jenna became a fervent Marxist and broke off all relations with him. Not smart, Jenna. You've got the world's richest man as a dad. You might want to keep that in the back pocket.
Yeah, you want to get cut out of that well.
No. Because at some point he could go, fuck her.
Yeah.
No. I was leaving $100 million to Xavier, or $100 billion to Xavier.
$100 million. What'd she do?
Yeah. But fuck, Jenna could eat dicks, all of them. Yeah. You get a bag of coal, Jenna. Not smart. You've been raised with, whether you realize it or not, it's all warped by your upbringing, which has been with Elon Musk as a dad. So, she went beyond socialism to being full communist and thinking that anyone rich is evil. The rift pained him more than anything in his life since the infant death of his firstborn child, Nevada. I've made many overtures, but she doesn't want to spend time with me. He blamed it partly on the ideology he felt that Jenna imbibed at Crossroads. Okay, that's the school in L.A. that she went to.
Okay.
So this is some super progressive liberal shit show that costs gobs of money.
So we're saying something
attend.
about the woke mind virus, perhaps?
Yeah.
Is that what we were talking about?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Twitter, he felt, had become infected by a similar mindset that suppressed right-wing and anti-establishment voices. It's full-on communism and a general sentiment that if you're rich, you're evil. If the relationship may change, the relationship may change, but I have very good relationships with all my other children. Can't win them all. Yeah, that's not what you want to hear from,
Exactly.
from your old man.
You know, well, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's like, you know, I'm doing something right. Okay, maybe it's not me.
Yeah,
You know,
we'll see.
Seems to be okay everywhere else. Maybe I'm not the problem.
Maybe Crossroads as a educational institution that costs $50,000 a year.
Perhaps there's a virus.
Yeah, perhaps there is. I would say if you're, it's laughable to call him the world's richest man when you're talking about Saudi, kingdoms. What?
Nothing.
Are we okay?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
We're good. I hope.
God damn it. He's not the world's richest man. It's probably Putin or some Saudi king, prince. It's probably one of those. But regardless, he's worth $250 billion.
He's right up there.
He's up there.
He's right up there.
That dude, if he wanted, could build a school in his backyard and hire the top 10 teachers from every school on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And have them personally teach his kids. Mm-hmm. And he could pay them quadruple what they'd make anywhere. He could offer them tenure. He could do all of that, and it would cost him a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percentage of his wealth.
Yep.
So at what point do you go, all right.
You could have Neil deGrasse Tyson in there tutoring the kids.
Yeah, in basic science.
Yeah.
You could, though. You could go, okay, they've got how many classes in K through 6? Okay, they have 6 a day. Okay, find the greatest elementary schools teachers on planet Earth, fly them here. They all get housing for life, and when they're 10 years over, when my kids have graduated, I'll buy them each a home anywhere on planet Earth they'd like. It'll be, no less than 3,000 square feet, no more than 5,000 square feet. It'll come with a car, and blah, blah, blah. They'll have tenure. They'll have fucking healthcare for life. And these 6 lottery winners for K through 6,
Yep.
You could do that through high school, through college, and they'd have literally the best education on planet Earth.
And it wouldn't even affect him. I mean,
No.
on one iota.
No. He makes like $450 a second. Okay?
Yeah.
So that dude could do that. And you go, okay, that's what I'm going to do. If I'm going to spit out 10 kids, I'm going to make sure those 10 are the most well-adjusted, they're going to have every advantage that I can provide, like all of you would do for your kids. Mm-hmm. And they're going to have the best teachers. They're going to have the best lunch menu, the best breakfast menu, the best dinner menu. And if they decide to go rogue from that, that's on them. I mean, I can only raise them so long. But why you would put them into a fucking, you didn't know Crossroads or Crosswinds was a uber left $50,000 a year school? Sounds to me like you're not paying attention.
Well,
on some level.
I don't know. Maybe because it's probably with his ex, right?
Yeah.
X is with the X.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's the singer who was he fucking for a while.
Yeah, but they only had the one kid, I think.
I thought they
Lord?
had 2.
Maybe it's 2.
Who?
Is it Lord?
No, it wasn't Lord.
No, who was the other one?
Yeah.
Whatever.
If you said it, I'd know it, but it wasn't. I don't think it was Lord.
No, it was right.
Some other idiot, but You know, they're busy touring the world and performing everywhere, and he's busy building rocket ships to another fucking planetary system.
Grimes.
Grimes.
There was the one word thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But it looks like there's Tallulah Riley and Justine Musk. Looks like there's some X's in there. So
Okay.
these kids, he doesn't have 10 kids with Grimes.
No.
So-
I don't even know if he has 10
Well,
kids.
not, but whatever.
He's on his way. He's got a bunch.
Let's see. Here we go. He first married ex-wife Justine Musk in 2000. The couple had 6 kids together before divorcing in 2008.
Okay.
Musk went on to marry English actress
We probably didn't
Tallulah
even know-
Riley in 2010.
Okay.
Though the two later divorced and remarried again. Their second divorce was finalized in 2016. So the 6 are with Justine Musk, who lives in L.A., would be my guess.
Yeah.
And sends the kids to Crossroads.
Yeah. So wait. Does he have them with Grimes?
Yeah.
pretty sure he has-
Yeah. Don't they have...
He has more kids.
Yeah, that was with the first ones, I'm saying. But yeah, they weren't married, I don't think, him and Grimes. But that's the one that was like XR4TI.
Yeah. Yeah. And the best thing she could do is spit out a brat with him.
Yeah, smart.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
how stupid are you, Grimes?
I'd let him knock me up.
Fuck yeah. He could come in me all day, every day if he wanted. Kidding me?
They do just have the one.
All right. Good enough. That's good enough.
No, that was
One's better than
nicknamed
none.
X. Grimes
So
and
is that
Castillo,
Xavier?
Also parents to a 2-year-old, XAEAXII.
Okay. I'm sure some nerds rock hard right now jacking off to what that means.
Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce that. That's just nicknamed X. I don't know. X going to give it to you. I know that. That's XR4TI. I was fucking close on that.
Yeah.
Which was that Mercure. That was a sweet little car. Remember that?
The Mercure?
Yeah, remember the Mercure XR4TI?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. It was a slick little car. It looked like
I'd have to see it.
Yeah, it was like a Ford had in a Eurotrash had a baby.
Okay. Why don't I remember what that looks like? I remember X4TI more than I remember Mercure. Or XR4TI?
Yeah, XR4TI. You remember that fucking car?
Yeah, I'm sure I do if you pull it up.
Hell yeah. You remember
It
that?
does look like an Escort GT.
Yeah.
Fuck the Nissan.
Right. It's like a Saab and a fucking Escort had a baby.
Yeah.
That's what
I missed that grill on the Escort.
Oh yeah, that was
The
a good
red one?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like shit.
Yeah. But that was I think Mercure, it was some version of Mercury or whatever that was. Mercure.
Mercure.
Right? But that's it. The XR4TI.
Okay.
Slick.
Yeah.
Badass ride.
I'd love to see our old cars.
Right? Could you imagine putting HCP back together?
Oh my God. With our Escort GTs and Lynxes. And
I had the Turbo Escort.
Turbo
Yours
Escort.
was the GT.
Mine was the GT, yeah. Really kicked
What was
it
that?
too.
What was that? Is it Toyota?
What?
was that red?
Yeah.
Was that a Toyota?
Toyota.
Hoopty had something before that Prelude.
You had a Subaru.
Yeah, the Subaru, right? Before, because then he had the Prelude. Remember Lude parking?
Yeah.
He'd back it in and then turn the wheel a little bit.
Yeah.
That's how he had to park the Prelude, because it was like in a commercial or some shit. Anyway, all right, radio for one.
Yeah.
Hoopty car posse for life.
Hoopty car posse. It doesn't mean huge Caucasian penis. Who told you that? It's absurd. It means hoopty car posse. And they're like, yeah, foiled again by these super smart kids. Delta flight from Atlanta to Barcelona.
All right, sure.
Forced to turn around after a passenger on board.
Shit themselves.
Close. Well, yeah.
Really?
Suffered a bout of, and I'm gonna say explosive diarrhea,
Oh boy.
which ran all through the plane.
Like the odor or the diarrhea itself?
I don't know. It's what I was giggling at earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. Their quote is it ran all the way through the plane.
Is that just that it stunk so bad? Like it was
It
just
must be.
And I mean maybe listen. You got a little bit of bubble guts. You're sitting there, it's not good. You see there's a line
Yeah,
for the
it's my
bathroom,
life, dude. What do you mean? It's
and then-
not good. You act like this is a once in a while thing.
and then maybe you try and fucking squeak out a little fart, right? Because you can get a fart out on a plane. People don't hear that stuff. You smell it later, but you don't hear it.
Yeah.
The way that sound is and everything. You can squeak that thing out, and then it's wet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
fuck. and then it's on. You broke the pressure relief valve on it.
Yeah.
And by the time you can get up into a bathroom, you just shit yourself all over it. Your socks are full. It's just a hot mess going on.
Yeah. I wouldn't think you
running down the fucking.
They're
still on takeoff, so it's just rolling down the aisle.
Yeah, that would explain.
Like lava.
Ran all over the place. No, I get that. If you want to play that sort of game from your own couch,
yeah,
your own, your chair, that's fine. You want to play the fucking roll the dice, take a risk, fucking
trust a fart game
from your own fucking seat in the house.
How old is this person?
I don't know.
They don't unidentified?
Details. No, they don't.
Oh, you can't leave the rogue shitter unidentified.
Shouldn't you have time? I mean, barring.
Well, I guess if there's no charges, there's no reason to go public with it.
Yeah.
It's just an incident, a medical emergency.
Yeah. And, if you ran into the situation I ran into, where thankfully I just had to whiz.
Yeah.
When that Indian couple fucked me, and then that bitch knew I was waiting there, and then she fucking took her sweet dot-ass time into that shitter and spent God knows how long in there curry dumping over and over.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Yeah. And the lady was like, I think there's something in the middle of the plane. I was like, I just got to piss. Give me a cup, whatever.
Just open the window and let it go.
Yeah, I should have. It was unbelievable. So this is flight DL, so that's
Down low.
down low. Yeah, they didn't keep it very down low.
DL Hughley.
DL 194. Already departed Georgia.
Is this Delta? Delta liner?
Yep, Delta liner.
There you go.
On schedule at 8:47 p.m. Friday, September 1. It was over Virginia when the pilots were like, abort, abort. And they had to cut the journey short. In a text message sent to air traffic control, the captain was succinct in explaining what was going on. Yeah, divert to ATL, passenger diarrhea all over aircraft, biohazard.
Is that what he said?
That was his quote.
Biohazard. Yeah, that's more than smell. That is fecal matter.
Yeah. Divert to ATL, passenger diarrhea all over aircraft, biohazard.
Could you imagine? Well, that's why they don't just go straight across, too. I mean, and there's something about currents and distance and rotation of the Earth, but... fucking Atlanta and Spain are basically on the same parallel.
Yeah.
I mean, you just shoot straight across, but you're all ocean.
Yeah.
If you go that way, you got to hug some shoreline just in case somebody shits himself.
Yeah.
Come up and around. That's why they do it.
Yeah, glad this didn't happen over the Atlantic.
Could you imagine? Right. If you're just out. Because, at some point you got, believe me, I've come Amsterdam to Detroit. There's a lot of blue under you for a long time.
Yeah.
And just to be out in the middle of that and have that happen, there's nothing you could do.
Part of me goes, press on, man. I don't want to have to deplane and then replane and then
That's
fucking
a long flight,
take
dude.
off.
Yeah, you say that. And if you're in the back maybe and you're not affected, but you got to understand there's shit somewhere and somebody's directly somebody else is directly affected.
If it was mine, it'd be one thing.
Exactly.
But it's someone else's.
Yeah.
That's a real problem.
Yeah, that duty is on somebody's shoe.
All traffic control audio recordings also reveal one of the air traffic control audio recordings also reveal one of the pilots confirming this situation over the radio.
Yep, it's diarrhea.
It's just a biohazard issue. We had a passenger. He had explosive diarrhea all through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta.
This is what you're telling them?
Yeah. These are quotes, man. I'm not making these up.
Yeah,
I added explosive.
Yeah, okay.
He said who had diarrhea. I'm declaring it explosive.
Wow, yeah.
Right.
Well, clearly. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
If you shat all over a plane, the explosive goes, you don't even have to say it.
Do you have to say that even?
I know, exactly. We have.
I'm stressed enough if I cause this. If I'm the reason, I got to sit back down in filthy underwear and shorts and just be that guy putting his head down, knowing the shame that I've caused for myself, my family name.
What's the move there? Do you go in the bathroom and try to
flush
clean yourself up?
Yeah, that toilet is it's gone.
Yeah.
So I would throw everything in there. And if I got to sit butt ass naked, that's fine. But no, everything's going in that.
Underwear clearly comes off.
Gone. Socks gone.
That's where I'm at a disadvantage.
Why?
I'm commando all the time.
Yeah,
I don't have that extra layer of protection.
Protection.
There. Yeah.
Well, if you think that a pair of Hanes is going to hold like a Huggy,
no, it's not going to
you're out of
hold.
your
No,
mind.
it's not going to hold. But imagine, I mean, it's like a coffee strainer, right? I mean, the coffee's still in the pot, but the grounds are still in the strainer. I mean, at least some of it. So, right, so you can get rid of that.
That's true.
You can get rid of a lot of that, and then you just got to worry about the cleaning the pot at that point. So if you can throw the filter away and then get in the sink, try and rinse off the pot. I'll sit in some wet, somewhat clean pants rather than shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And
be in there
it's
for
not
like 45 minutes just scrubbing the shit out of my pants.
And it's not like you're not on a tube filled with suitcases that have other people's clothing in it. You'd expect humanity to step up and go,
somebody. Hey,
dude,
somebody.
I got a pair of fucking
I will give
38s in the back.
I'll give you $100 for a pair of shorts right now. Anybody.
Anybody. I know a lot
I'll take
of
a
you.
fucking sundress at this point. Somebody, anybody, hook a brother up.
I know some of you just wadded up yesterday's filthy fucking knickers and threw them in your suitcase. I don't give a shit.
It's not as dirty as mine.
Your filthy and my filthy are two entirely different solar systems at this point. Give me your filthy drawers, sir.
One man's dirty is another man's clean.
One man's dirty is another man's saving grace. Yeah, what you yesterday
You don't have
when
any
you were
safe
packing
storage,
up,
right? I mean, I mean, I guess we're talking that this escaped. This was on the floors. This was on the seats.
It sounds like it escaped and made a run for it.
This was on people. This was a problem.
Yeah,
this didn't just fill the sock.
This turned in this went from a rom-com to a horror film
real quick.
One person says this was distressing for passengers and crew. I can imagine.
Yeah,
not
sure.
so much crew. Well, not pilot crew. Yeah, you're
they-
talking
they-
stewards and
Keep that door locked.
no English.
Turn that fucking
Click.
air filter back on. Spray a little Febreze. Stick a towel under the door. We're good to go. Hey, folks, change of plans. We're just going to go ahead and
We're just gonna
hammer
beeline.
down to Barcelona.
We'll be in Barcelona in 8 clicks of a second. Don't worry about it.
That's less than. You're all going to get. You're going to get some sky miles out of this.
Co-pilot's just in the front burning matches and throwing them.
Fucking poopery. We're way beyond that point, I think.
One person said, my partner was on that flight. It was pretty bad. It was dribbled down the aisle, smelled horrible.
Oh my God.
It's not getting better. The vanilla scented disinfectant. No.
That was vanilla pine sol shit.
Yeah, vanilla scented disinfectant used only made it smell like vanilla shit. Of course it did. Of course it did. Who thinks that's going to work?
Well, lipstick on a pig, I guess.
After,
What's better, shit or vanilla shit? I mean,
they're both going to make you vomit.
right. But at least it's better than just shit.
Yeah, now you'll never be able to eat vanilla ice cream again.
Just taint it.
I mean, that's,
Or fly.
yeah. It was, after the plane landed, it was thoroughly cleaned.
I would hope so.
They didn't leave until around 2:30 a.m. The flight was met by emergency vehicles. Imagine that poor bastard sitting there with shit in his drawers when he sees EMTs, emergency vehicles, and then they had to carry the sick passenger off the plane with
boy.
drawers filled with diarrhea.
Just biohazard suits and shit, like fucking scene on an ET. Just the last one on the plane.
Shit. He's
Let's
got
go.
a mask on. They're just wheeling him through the airport.
Just clean me. Just clean me. Do you have any extra pants? Did you bring another bio suit? Anything?
Anything. Tell me one of you cats didn't grab a pair of
Get one of
42
those
jeans.
Just get a big
None of you?
grocery bag and just put it up to his neck and just let him stew in his own fucking au jus. Just tie it off. All right, sir, you're just going to have to ride this one out.
Yeah. This is a trip for one. We're going to continue on to Spain now that everyone else is off the plane. You and your au jus bag. Enjoy your trip to Barcelona, pal.
Oh, my.
My partner said the plane was never cleaner when they got back on at 2 a.m. It was the first time they got on. No smell either.
Wow, that's impressive.
Both my wife and I were on the flight. It was a mess. The pilots made the right decision to turn around. The ground crew ripped out the carpet and put new in.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they weren't fucking around, man.
No,
this was it. This guy had to recarpet a plane.
We
Who has that story in their back?
We don't have a spare plane anywhere that we can just wheel out for this thing?
Nah, they're like, fuck it, recarpet it.
Yeah.
It's got to be done anyways. It's got to be. Dude, this guy got a plane recarpeted in real time and then still flew off to Barcelona.
That's amazing. What's the timeline on this thing? How long did it take?
Till 2:30 a.m. They were.
When did they leave?
They left. It had departed Georgia at 8:47 p.m.
You got to be shitting me. No pun intended.
Yeah.
That 8:30 or whatever it left.
8:47 it flew off, got to Virginia.
Turn around. So
you're
it's
an hour, right?
Exactly, easily. By the time they got back.
Atlanta to Virginia.
At 2:30 in the morning, they were in the air again?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Wait.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. Considering the circumstances, the ground crew did a great job.
Oh, that's well beyond great.
Yeah. Along with
is
the attendants
spectacular.
and the pilots. Did no one puke? You had to have people puke.
Maybe, but that's part, that went away with the carpet.
Fortunately for passengers, the flight was not entirely canceled. Following an 8-hour, 13-minute flight, the plane finally landed in Barcelona at 5:10 p.m., 8 hours behind schedule and just in time for rush hour.
That is staggering.
Yeah. New carpet, too.
8 hours to...
How much damage did this guy's asshole do?
Enough. Well, I mean, it's just... They probably knew that you're never going to get the stink out of the carpet.
Yeah.
You're going to go in there and scrub it and clean it and do all that. And nobody wanted to do that anyway. They're like, fuck it, rip it out. We got more carpet in the back. It's going to take 2 hours to rip it out and put new carpet down. Then it's going to take 3 hours to sit there and scrub the shit out of it and it's still going to stink.
Yeah.
So let's just go. Let's get on it. That's a great executive decision by somebody.
Yeah.
To just get in there and get it out.
I'm telling you, someone at Delta's on the ball. They've I've taken American of late. I've taken Delta many times. Delta having the fucking iPads in every headrest in the plane. I don't care if you're in the cheap seats or first class. They've got those fucking headrests in everything, and it's just great. Mm-hmm. And it goes back a couple of years, man. During the pandemic, I watched Michigan on the flight home from California.
Nice.
I watched a Michigan game in the air.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it was poor scheduling on my part. They sucked that year. I think they only won 3 games, but nonetheless.
I never got anything live flying overseas.
Yeah, you can get live TV.
Now.
Yeah.
Not back then.
Yeah. American Airlines are like, oh, we've got Wi-Fi. I'm like, well, yeah, but now you're making me fucking bust out a laptop and find a charger. Can't you just have the TV screen in there like Delta does? Do this right.
There you go. Shout out Delta.
Difference between Delta and American. American would have said, ladies, just scrub it down and get it back in the air. Delta was like, rip the fucking carpet out. Let's go. Staple some new shit down and we'll be on our way.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
Nice. Good for them.
And I don't know if the shitter in question got on the flight.
We don't know. That was going to be my other question.
No.
They go somewhere and clean it up, straight to the hospital. What are we doing here?
For
just
his
go
part,
spray that person. You're assuming it's a male?
you got to think the story's been out for a day now, publicly speaking.
Yeah.
Even his family and friends in Barcelona are like, man, weren't you supposed to be on that 3 a.m. that red eye from Barcelona? Why were you not on that plane?
Oh, no, what? I didn't want to wait the 8 hours. I just decided no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, people get outed so fast.
So fast.
What was it? The romper stomper. Did you see that chick from the outhouse fight or the porta potty fight? You didn't see that video?
Maybe.
Fucking crazy. The chick's getting into the fight at the porta shitters at some hillbilly concert.
Yeah.
And then the blonde chick with the boots
just comes
and
in
the little
swinging.
romper. Yeah, they call her the romper stomper.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
I have seen that video.
They outed her in like hours.
Really?
Oh yeah. They were like, oh no, that's this chick right here.
Yeah, this bad bitch.
Yeah. But actually, she made like some kind of post like her on there and was like, quite a day or something. Like
really?
Yeah.
Is
from
she
the
hot?
Concert. Yeah, good enough.
Like
yeah,
she's got a fucking body.
Actually, I mean, all parties involved were above average.
Wasn't there one biggin in there?
Not in the initial
crew.
Yeah. The biggin.
How do you get into a fist fight in a porta potty?
The biggin was in the porta potty that they barged into.
Yeah,
and comes out like, ooh, like good thing I just finished.
Yeah,
I just had explosive diarrhea in there.
Yeah, exactly. Man,
but I'm just saying the internet is undefeated. Is my point.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
If they want to out this guy, they will.
Right.
They will. A mayor in Wyoming. We don't hear much about Wyoming. That's
Nope.
where Yellowstone is, right? Is that no? That's Montana.
Yes.
Wyoming. I think Wyoming's pretty badass too.
Lovely
As far
area.
as not that many people, mountainous, beautiful.
Yep.
Nature. The mayor in Wyoming is speaking out about the homeless population in his city. This is just getting out of control, man. I don't know what you do.
I
I don't know what you do with all
What-
these people.
what is-
You've normalized this behavior.
Well, I mean, it's more than, I mean, we start looking at the real issues. I mean, we're yes, this homeless issue is up, but why are there so many people homeless? Because this fucking the cost of living is going up at an astronomical
yeah,
rate.
it's
I
crazy.
mean, it's unattainable.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. I mean, it's
Crazy right now. When
Yeah.
I look at the electric bill, I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
No, I mean, it's talking about.
can't
There's
fucking
a
believe it.
You know, a friend of a friend, essentially a young kid that's trying to figure it out on his own. 19-year-old kid. Oh, that sounded great. Perfect. Yeah, let's keep doing it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
That was my foot.
No, anyway, but the kid's working, needs a place to live, working, part-time, full-time, whatever. I mean, how's a kid, an apartment, sweet, is,
You saw me, man. I didn't touch shit over here.
I mean, minimum $600-700 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, for a shit apartment somewhere.
Right.
And, then you're talking about any of your utilities, all this stuff. How can anybody afford to live? And I mean, so if you don't have even a fairly decent job, now you can argue, well, get a fucking job. You can afford, but it's not that easy. I mean, you got to start looking at the root
Finding
cause.
a job that'll pay.
Let's start looking at the root cause of why there's such a huge homelessness issue, and start fucking affecting the root cause of this. Whether
Yeah. Well, you certainly don't invite 10 million people, foreigners, into your country and let them fucking
There's plenty of
weigh down
issues
the
there.
system.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't seem like a brilliant idea to fix things
No?
at all. At some point, you need to take responsibility.
taking
for
up goddamn
your-
houses that Americans could be living in.
And it's not even that. You're taking up
kidding.
healthcare emergency systems that Americans can be using. You know what I mean? Like, I still want to know what the fuck's going on with Ohio. What the hell's going on with Flint, Michigan, and their water issues, or Jackson, Mississippi, for that. Or Maui. Those are American cities, man.
Yep.
Like, you just think there's no consequence to sending $100+ billion to Ukraine? And basically, fuck you, Ohio. I mean, that's
it
what
in.
they've said to Ohio.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself is what this administration has said to
Joe
Ohio.
just said it. Oh, I don't know when I can go. I got to go to
a lot on my
Vietnam. I
plate.
got to go everywhere
A
else.
lot on my plate. Can't. Yeah. How's the prep for September 11th going? Yeah, for the first time in since September 11th, 2002, we're not going to have any sort of thing with the president there. Awesome. Yeah. You shouldn't be there anyways. You're the least American person I've ever seen, Joe Biden. So probably best you're not part of the festivities.
Man,
you
we
probably
almost
yawn
made
and
this
stare
whole
at your
thing
watch
without
the
being
whole time.
political. Damn
Yeah,
it.
right.
Almost.
Well, sorry. Anyway, so this mayor in Wyoming is talking about how the homeless people there, saying they destroyed a motel and left hundreds, and I don't know whose job it was to weigh this, but hundreds of pounds of human shit on the streets.
Wow.
Yeah. Casper Mayor Bruce Nell said the roughly 200 homeless people residing there have created a mess. It's like nothing I've ever seen. It's third world country stuff happening in Casper, Wyoming. So 200, what is the average shit you think weight?
I'm pretty sure not all shits are created equal. So
That's
we'll take an average of being 1 pound.
Okay, so 200 people shit a pound a day.
That's a couple 100 pounds of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So God, you can only imagine what San Francisco's like if you were to round up all the shit piles. Staffers had to clean up roughly.
Although it's technically biodegradable.
Throw it in the grass. You're saying?
Break down on its own.
Yeah. Staffers had
fertilizer.
City staffers had to clean up roughly 500 pounds of human shit downtown, where a sizable portion of the homeless loiters while others stay in nearby parks or sleep in their cars. In desperate times, people do desperate things, and unfortunately, we're the ones left having to deal with it. Homeless people also destroyed a vacant motel. I don't know why this always happens with the motels. They go into a motel. Why does it have to turn into an absolute shit box?
Well, it was a vacant motel. I don't think that means it was vacancies. I think it was closed. So they just break into it and start shacking up in there.
They were squatting in the former Econo Lodge motel in Casper.
Former Econo Lodge, right?
Yeah.
So it's a closed down.
But they caused millions and millions of dollars in damage.
I'm just saying it wasn't open. They weren't like customers.
But the ones in New York were. The ones in San Francisco were.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the gist on this story.
This one, yes, it was they were squatting in a former Econo Lodge. Pictures show trash littered across the floors of rooms, furniture scattered. The city has since condemned the property. It's been boarded up by the bank that owns it to keep squatters out. They destroyed everything. It's horrible. It was unsafe. Nell says many homeless people come to Casper for the homeless shelter. Not everyone is approved. Others get kicked out. Many of those homeless people who are rejected by the shelter just never leave. There's a certain part of the homeless population, whether substance abuse or mental illness, both of those across the board, that is getting them to where they don't want to conform to society's rules. When they do that, they're not allowed to go in the shelter, which means they're just out and about in our community raising hell.
5150, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Lock them up.
Yeah, but
for their own good.
No human's illegal. The city council is considering measures to make Casper less accessible and welcoming to homeless people. What? They're causing so many problems, and the police need some teeth to start dealing with the squatting. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
They always have.
Well, now, listen, I mean, at some point you have to be able to help yourself, okay? Like, we'll extend the olive branch. We'll set up some sort of, provisions for you, the shelters, the temporary housing, the things that it is. But, you have to be a productive member of society. You have to not be a fucking animal. You have certain rules and guidelines that you have to follow to be able to receive these benefits. Seems absolutely reasonable to me.
Well, they used to stop them from doing that or arrest them for doing that. Now they know that there's no consequences, so they're just like, well, fuck it. I used to get in shit for shitting on the street.
Yep, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Well, after your third strike, then you can either...
Can you believe that was a California law for years?
Three strikes?
Yeah. Birthed in California.
Yeah, I can.
It's crazy. This liberal bastion of like, oh my God, let him do whatever.
Yeah, I know it. And now, look where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah, look where it's gotten him.
Hey, you can be in a fucking mental facility because you're not capable of being a rational human being. Or we need Asshole Island.
Yeah.
Let's just send them off to, or delete.
True.
That's an option too. Euthanasia.
Yeah.
We can't all survive, man.
Dude, I'm not against that.
I'm not either.
Horrible, but
I don't fucking care.
And I say this knowing that I'd probably make it on the list at some point.
Hey, listen, I can follow the rules.
Yeah.
You want to be a total piece of shit, then there's no place for you here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's no, we're not asking much of you. Don't shit in the street. There's a toilet right there. We're giving you a toilet. Shit in the street, or don't shit in the street. Third time you shit in the street,
gone.
Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
You're talking about voting people off the island now. You realize?
Oh yeah. And this planet is the island.
Yeah, I agreed with you. Mm-hmm. You want to do a T-Roy? Ask T-Roy?
Yeah, but today, Ask T-Roy is brought to you by The Party Pub. Now, if you want to impress everybody at your grad party, wedding reception, poker night, MMA viewing party, or for any other reason, then you need to contact The Party Pub. It's a massive inflatable pub that can be set up wherever you choose. They also have all the best party games, beanbag toss, badminton, giant inflatable screens, axe throwing, and more. Call Jeff L. Hefe at 586-524-6701 or visit thepartypubrentals.com.
Dear T-Roy, my husband
don't you dare.
And I are in our 30s. I love him. And I'm worried because he has a laissez-faire attitude about everything.
All right.
Especially his health. He's had high cholesterol for 5 years and has done little to nothing about it. He found out only because I kept hounding him for a year to get a physical. To say I'm concerned is an understatement. Guys don't give a shit about high cholesterol. It is what it is.
Yeah.
To say I'm concerned is an understatement. When I asked him how he can be so complacent about something so dangerous, I got this blank stare and I don't know what you want me to say. Or he says I'm being rude. I can't understand why this doesn't scare him. Should I force him to go back to the doctor and deal with this? Or must I sit and wait for the consequences of him ignoring his health to happen? Wife who cares in Iowa.
All right, wife, why don't you mix in a salad once in a while and just do what you can do? You can't make somebody do something.
No, you can't.
And we don't give a shit. I hate to tell you. I hate to break it to you. Breaking news here, ladies.
Yeah.
We don't give a shit about our health.
Yeah. Dude,
right?
Patrice,
some do, but those are the ones you got to worry about.
especially in our 30s.
Egomaniacs.
In our 30s, you expect me to give a shit about high
cholesterol?
Fuck out of here.
Stop it.
Wake me up when I'm 70. We'll talk.
Right?
Yeah. No, you're not.
Let me know when my white blood cell counts off or something.
Yeah.
Cholesterol. Shit. I don't
Yeah.
I'll have one less omelet a week. What do you want me to do?
I don't even know what that means. Oh, what? So what do I have to limit over the next couple months to make that go back up or down? Whatever. I don't even know which way you want it to go.
Years ago, they told me it was my bad cholesterol was fine. My good cholesterol was too low. They wanted to put me on pills. I was like, I'll see more eggs. They were like, no, that's not how that works. I'm like, well, I'm not taking your fucking pills for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's not how this is going to work at all.
Yeah.
They were like, okay. And then I went back. I didn't change a damn thing.
Yep.
Went back next time. Oh, my cholesterol levels were just fine.
No, crazy.
They were like,
how
what'd you
it
do?
works.
I was like,
Eat
not a
dick.
thing.
Not a thing.
Yeah, amazing. I have no idea. And last time I just got, I get a physical every year. I have insurance. That's what I do. And every thing I had was right down the middle. Every test, every level I had was right in the middle. Parameter was from 1.5 to 1.9. I was 1.7, baby.
Yeah.
Everything was right in the groove.
Yeah, that's great. Good for
Yep.
you. And if it wasn't,
Could care less.
yeah.
Yeah, there was two that were a little wonky, but I didn't fast. And they were like, well, that's typical they were like, these are a little out of whack. And then I looked, they were like, but it's within range if you didn't fast. I'm like, so I'm good. They were
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
essentially.
then stop it.
Yeah, they get. I don't know what this is, ladies. Patrice O'Neill has a wonderful bit about this, wonderful and so spot on about
Love
you know
Patrice.
you can like. He's like, you ask some guy's girl like what medications he's on, and she'll run down the fucking whole list. And you ask what pills your wife is on, and ask the guy that, and he's like,
The pill?
wait. Man, you sick bitch. What's all this pills you on? He has no idea.
Right.
He just doesn't.
I don't even know what I'm on.
It's one of the differences between men and women. Believe it or not, there's big differences between us, and that's one of them. I wish I could answer that. It drove my family members nuts. It drove Beth especially nuts as a nurse, where I was just like, yeah,
I don't know
okay,
what they are.
whatever. What, like, did you go get this done? Did you get this checked? Did you do that? I'm like, no. I know this means a lot to you, apparently, but
Right.
this means less than fuck all to me. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I wish I cared about it.
Yeah.
I don't. I got a game on in like an hour, though. So am I going to die in the next hour? No? Great. Let's pick this up in 5 hours then.
I'm supposed to go see a hand specialist.
Yeah.
Made
3 months later.
Never made that call.
Yeah. My mom's even questioning it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to talk to you about Troy's hand. I'm like, oh, God, I don't want you to talk about what's fucked up with me. Now you want me to listen to what's fucked up about Troy?
Right?
Forget it. No.
It's looking worse every day.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't look good. Yeah, you did quite the damage.
Yeah.
Quite the amount of damage.
Pretty sure there's some tendons or ligaments or something cut in there.
All right, let's do an email and get out of here. I feel like shit.
All right.
NFL jerseys. When Ford Field opened for the first time, my wife and I got season tickets. Good for you. The very first game against the Arizona Cardinals, there was some kid walking around Ford Field with a Cincinnati Bengals Scott Mitchell jersey. I have a feeling it was the one and only Cincinnati Bengals Scott Mitchell jersey ever sold. Keep up the great work, guys. I'm a proud Patreon member. Doug Steele. Thank you, Doug. I was at that game as well.
Ooh.
I was not a season ticket holder, but I did go to that very first game. I went to the first preseason game, too. I believe that was against Pittsburgh. But I did go to that first game. That is the game that Anquan Bolden made his rookie debut
Oh, okay.
for 217 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He was a beast.
In a loss to the Lions. Lions won that game 42-24.
Very nice.
Not for lack of effort on Anquan Bolden's part.
Anquan was is
Yeah.
underrated in the annals of NFL history.
Yeah. I believe he muffed a punt in that game, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Remember when I was at Warner, killed him? Kurt Warner let him across the middle. And he died.
Broke
on the
his jaw.
field.
He played the next week, though.
Yeah.
Broke
a
his jaw in 2 places, I think, on that hit.
That was one of the worst hits I've seen in a long time.
Helmet to the jaw. Boom. And then the son of a bitch played the next week.
Tough as nails.
NFL players, I don't care what you think, they're just a different breed.
Yep.
They're just a different breed. They just are. All right, let's call it there, T.
Shut her down.
Yep, let's shut it down for the night. All right, everybody, hope you enjoyed the show. We certainly enjoyed putting it on for you, and we'll hopefully be back tomorrow with a brand new edition, and hopefully you'll all join us then.